Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. In the previous episode, we were working with Mumbo. We were hanging out with Mumbo over at his base, working on a passive mob farm. If you haven't seen that, highly recommend you go check it out, because the farm design we came up with was pretty damn awesome. We got to do some really cool redstone and built a nice compact farm for Mumbo, so I hope that's working out for him. You can see we're at the end of his tunnel, and we were discussing this after we recorded the episode, and he wasn't sure where the nether hub was in relation to his little tunnel, and it's going to work out perfectly for him. If he goes up like this, all the way to the top of this tunnel that we're slowly jumping up, it's going to link to the nether hub, as you're about to see. So I said I'd sort that out for him, and we're going to be working in the nether hub at the beginning of this episode. Then we're going to jump somewhere else, then we're going to jump somewhere else, because right now I've got projects all over the place on this server. So I'm going to put a poll on your screen, and you guys are going to vote and choose what you're going to see in either the next episode or the episode after that. Basically, I'm going to take your feedback and we're going to prioritize where we're going to go. So there'll be a poll, a list of projects that I'm working on, and you can click on which one you want to see, right? So feel free to participate, and if you're enjoying the Hermitcraft series, remember to leave a like on the videos. As always, your support is greatly appreciated here. And let's just go around into the nether hub and enjoy the view again. Were those all there last time? No, they weren't. I know that the one in the middle had the little entrance to Iskal's little supply area. Cool, so things are moving along around here. I like it a lot, I like it a lot. And we got to work on our rift over here. And I've had a lot of tweets from people. So thanks everyone, as always, for pitching in and helping out, because I do struggle a little bit. As you saw, I had an idea and I couldn't quite get it to work, but now we're going to make it work, of course. If you don't remember what we were doing over here, we're going to have a witch, a wither, and an enderman. And let's jump forward in time, because I've dug out this space on the side here, removed the concrete powder, and realised that it ain't going to work out over here. So, big shout out to Christopher Mills for this fantastic tweet. You can see the statues here. These things are absolutely perfect. They are pretty much exactly what I had a vision for in my mind. Unfortunately, they're about 12 or 11 blocks tall, and the area we have here that I just dug out was about 7. So that's not enough, and you're probably thinking, well, we could dig out some more down below, and I agree, that's what I was going to do, but then I started to think about perspective. And somewhere down here there's an endermite. There you are. Let's get rid of you, because you're making strange sounds. Yeah, somewhere down here, the perspective changes, right? You have to look up, and it just felt like it wasn't going to work out. We wouldn't have the right amount of space to put in these statues, so unfortunately we're not going to go with that idea. Another tweet that I was thinking about doing comes from Ubernoob, and this one is really cool. Just the faces represented with blocks, and I was going to implement them slightly different. I was looking at putting like one face on the side, one on the other side, one in the middle, something like that. And I don't think that's going to work either. Now there's a third option. Someone tweeted something very creative at me, one of those more organic builds, which although it doesn't represent all 3 mobs, I think it's the one that I want to go with. So the best way to do that is to jump into a time lapse. First things first, a big old shout out to Yannick Pellis for tweeting this at me. Fantastic design of a wither kind of ripping through the rift. I love it. It doesn't represent all 3 mobs, but it's really fantastic, and it's totally unfinished at the moment. The rest of what I've got to do is me taking artistic liberties, let's say. And so I decided to end the time lapse there. Again, replay mod. Really love using that for time lapses. And now I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking, what are we going to do here? It's kind of actually difficult to look at it straight on as the player. This is best going to be enjoyed from other sides of the hub when you look across and you see this thing. So if we look at the side of the head, I hadn't finished that off. I hadn't really finished the rib cage behind this. And also lighting is a big deal in here. You know, the nether is kind of dark and grim. And so we've got to finish up the sides of the skull right there. And then we've got to put in the concrete powder behind it all. Now at the moment, the red of the netherrack is actually providing it with some contrast, which is important because it allows you to distinguish the wither monster, or whatever we want to call it, from the background. And I think the way that we're going to be able to keep doing that is with some lighting. So what I wanted to grab, what I want to do, is come in here and get some glowstone, or any light source at all would do, and basically put it behind this thing. So if we throw an ender pearl up to the back of its head, which I originally placed using netherrack like that, if we put a couple of light sources around this part, what we should see it do is light up these blocks, but not the ones that are a little bit further away, although they are actually kind of close, right? And then the best place we're going to get a view from is probably over there in the middle of the room. Perfect throw, amazing. Shame about the glass that's dropped down, and oh my goodness me, that thing now pops out big time. I didn't actually expect it to make that much of a difference, right? But when we looked at it a moment ago, it was kind of blending in with the background a little bit, and it looks like we're not going to have that problem now. So let's head over there. Let's get rid of the netherrack behind it. Let's finish up the sides of this thing, and it won't be long before we can say it's finished. Welcome to the inside of the beast. I've got an important job to do here. I've got to go around and put carpet on top of all of these blocks, right? Because mobs can spawn in here. And I'll come back and I'll get the ones that I missed while we're recording, because I'm not going to get them all. Going to cover up this glowstone as well. Deliberately position these so when you walk through, you shouldn't be able to look up and actually really see the light source, which I think is important. And that was kind of difficult over here with the rib cage, so I had to make it so that it went up against the wall, and all of this has been put in. It's looking very clean and nice in here. And now we're just going to put down this and then take a step back and see if it affects it in any way, because you'll see the little lip of black from down below. Also, these sides here, I guess, need to be like that. And where I've put down all of this powder down here doesn't actually need to be so, does it? So I guess I can probably remove those and save me some resources. It's done. It's finished. And from multiple angles, it looks fantastic. Although, what is that there? Is that a little bit... Oh, it's a little bit of glass just right in front. I thought it was like netherrack between a couple of blocks. This right here has taken me 2.5 hours, not directly. I've just been on the server for 2.5 hours, and I've had trouble recording, getting the words out of my mouth correctly. I've been deleting, re-recording, trying to build this thing and running into problems with the server desyncing my inventory from where I've gone and collected resources. It has been a little bit of a mini nightmare, and I'm kind of thankful that this is over now. But I thought I'd share that with you because, you know, you watch 7 minutes of a video and this could have probably taken less than an hour, you know, but it's just been one of those days for me. And I don't like those days. I don't like them, but we're done now, and it means we can move on to the next thing. Before we get to our main project for today's episode, I need to put in a request with Wellsnight for a build over at my base. And I just wanted to comment on this. Scar's working on the entrance, man. He's still working on this project. It just gets better and better. And you know the rule, whenever you're in this area, you've got to record and show the wonderful build. The best build ever. The best Minecraft build ever, maybe. Yeah, so in my base we have some custom biomes that we're working on. I haven't done that for a while. I've been taking a break from it. And when we were working on the swamp biome, I had a ton of people ask for a witch hut, and I thought that's a really cool idea. So I thought I would actually come over here to Wellsnight's shop, which is called the Builds shop, right there. And it's kind of quite similar to our shop, actually, if you think about it. Well, I imagine most things you're going to build in this area will end up looking a little bit like this, but the interiors here absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Wellsnight is obviously a masterclass builder, and over here we've got empty books and orders, right, and then instructions. So I'll fill this out and I'll drop off Wellsnight a request for a witch hut. Dear Wells, I am in need of a spooky non-vanilla witch hut in the custom swamp biome I'm building on my island. Are you interested in this small build project in exchange for a sorting system? I'm sure you would benefit from having your building supplies automatically organised. Hope to hear from you soon. Signed, Asuma. This is the place right here, just in case you haven't seen it or you don't remember it. Our custom biome is going to go all the way around this path, and the netherrack that I've just placed down is like a marker for the region in which the witch hut could go. It could actually probably be a little bit bigger than that, and I've just noticed that this is totally unacceptable. Hi, can we do this in this view? Yes, we can. We're a Minecraft pro. There we go. Let's get back up into the sky. We haven't touched any of this for a while. I just felt like taking a break from it, you know. And of course, we've got the rest of this swamp to build. There's going to be a witch hut in it. We've got the iron farm to build over here, and the rest of the cliffs around the outside. But that stuff isn't really too far away from being finished, so it won't be long before we finish those and start yet another biome, as I've got lots and lots of plans. But it is time for us now to get into the actual the main bit of this episode. That's not going to work. Okay, I was afraid I was going to hit some non-existent thing for a second there. Let's go down here. And where are we going to? I just got to think. Oh, do you know what? The best way to get to this place is through one of these back doors. This one right here. So I've got a snow golem, and it is in the right location. It is outside of the mycelium biome that we're currently in, the mushroom island, because this was a mushroom island. We transformed it. And then down in the ocean is where we have this thing, so we can farm some snow. And I want to automate this, so I want to upgrade it and get it turned into something a lot more efficient, so we can grab lots of snow and craft lots of it as well. And I'm not sure if I want to stick to this location is basically my point, because how are we going to hook it up to the main base? So I'm going to have a little think through and figure out how we'll create like a tunnel to that location, or do we want to move the location to somewhere else? So I found the spot where we're going to build this farm. It's actually not too far away from the other one. Here's the thing though, we're in the ocean biome, and just over here there is a cave full of bad news. Do you want to play a game? How many mobs can you count inside of that cave? That's a crazy amount, and they're all going to end up fighting each other, right? And can they come up here? I hope they can't. Oh, and I don't want stuff blowing up, actually. This could end badly. Let's turn around. So I've dug a tunnel, and I want to show you where this tunnel starts. You can see the end of it right there. There was going to be a room. There was going to be a room on this floor that was going to have our build palette put into it. But eventually I thought, do you know what? We've come this far into the season, and it was one of the first things that I wanted to build, and I never got around to it, so it felt kind of silly to build it. So I closed this thing off. But I reckon what we could do is just make a little entrance here and then make a tunnel themed around snow. So we could have loads of snow and ice. It could just go through here, and basically this thing goes on for a bit, then it turns to the right and it goes down, and it makes its way to a similar location to where the snow golem currently is. Initially I thought, there's a cave here, let's use this space, but then I realised you've got to travel further, and even though it's only a few blocks, somewhere around here is where the ocean starts. And there you go, Mushroom Island shore, and then ocean here. So our snow golems are going to be in the ocean, and that's right, I said golems. We're going to put 2 in here, and that's due to symmetry reasons. We're going to need a 2-wide thing to farm the snow from, and with our entrance here being 1 wide, or you know, odd number, I decided to flip it this way, and then I thought, well, let's put a farm on either side of this and see where it goes. Basically, I've got a design in mind, and I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work out, but we're going to start off like this. So I'm going to nudge you into that space, and you should fit right in there, and with that, you have now been locked in a cage. Perfect. But is it going to make snow down below? It should already be making snow. And there it goes. So it was still standing on top of that other block. Excellent. So this is going to be one farm right here. And if you haven't seen how the trick works before, when you do that, you get that much snow. And when you do it across 2, you get twice as much. And I think it may be even possible to wrap it around a corner and use 3. I was trying to figure that out with the last setup that we have. If you actually remember it, or you saw it in the other cave, it kind of wrapped around the corner. I was messing around with that a bit, and I couldn't tell if it's actually making it faster or not. But 2 is fine by me. And then we're going to double it up so 2 people can actually use it at the same time, which is probably never going to happen unless I deliberately orchestrate some sort of project that involves a lot of snow. Alright, so that's all of those crafted up. And what have we got here? Well, I raised it up because I realised that It needed to be higher, basically. I put this jack-o'-lantern for lighting at the front because it obviously matches the snow golems, which I think is cool. Although we could use some shears and take their head off, and that could be a thing, right? Also, this block is going to look great in here. I'm just not sure if that's the actual best place to use it right now. We might need some blocks that gel better with the soul sand, but we can put blocks around that as well. There's basically a lot that we can do here when it comes to building, but let's focus on how we're going to collect the items. So we're going to have a chest side by side like this with hoppers pointing into it, and then what I'm going to put below that is 2 hoppers pointing into the next chest, which is going to be kind of tricky to place, or actually maybe not if I just go behind it like that. So you've got to think about it in terms of how many items are flowing from hopper to chest. It's going to be double a single chain because it's 2 hoppers going into the container and then 2 hoppers into the next one. So that's a good thing, but that probably won't be fast enough for the amount of snow that we create. So what we're going to do under here is put in some hopper minecarts. Now these things are going to pick up the items extremely quickly, so they won't be on the ground, but eventually they will fill up and then they will be throttled by the speed of this hopper. So what we're doing is we're essentially creating a buffer to pick up the snow blocks. But what I want to see what we can do is, can we put them side by side when the rails connect? I mean, we can, that should be obvious. But what happens if I start trying to add more here? And we've got to think about entity colliding. Entity... What's the thing called where you can't have too many entities in the same place? You know what it is. So we just put 4 on either side there, which means that it's going to basically have 4 times that, so 20 slots to pick up items in, and then it will hold on to those and drain them into the thing below. We could also actually remove those, and then they wouldn't be going back and forth on the rails. And it looks like they're happy to stick in the same place, which is fine by me. That works perfectly. Then any of the snow that we get will go down below. So we can do a little test right now so you can see what I'm talking about. I think we're mining both at the same time. We need some blocks around the top to make sure that they land on top of there. And that is slightly disappointing, and I'm now seeing the error of my ways. Peeps, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Pause the video, leave a comment if you know, and I'll tell you. Okay? Hopefully you did that. Hopefully you knew. You need the rails to be on there. I thought I was being smart taking off the rails. The rails are actually kind of important, right? Because they push the hopper up so it can actually pick up items from up top. There may be another problem with that, actually, because the items might be sitting on top of the snow. I'm not sure. Let's step back. Let's mine that corner. Oh, it doesn't look like it, does it? No, it's actually picking them up. That's fantastic. It could still be that the items could sit on the snow, but because we're breaking it, the items fall down. So let's do a test. No, it picks it up above the snow. That is very good to know. And now we'll see all the snow draining into here. Excellent. Things are shaping up in here. It's looking good, isn't it? And I was just thinking some of this snow around the edge here should probably match the quartz. And yeah, that little bit there looks cleaner already. I'm running out of nether quartz. I'm running out of my supplies. And up the top here, I've actually made a little bit of a change that wasn't too smart. I replaced the soul sand with these quartz slabs because I figured, you know, you could accidentally hit the soul sand with your shovel. And then that's prompted me to realise there's a couple of design flaws here that I'm really not fussed about. You can see the snow pops out onto the sides. It will now pop out onto those blocks as well, but you can always run in there and pick them up. So if you're farming these things, you know, to build with them like I am right now, it's really not an issue unless you were doing some sort of crazy AFK farming session for an insane amount of snowballs. Then it might be a little bit of a bother that those things go up on here, and I haven't seen them actually go any further than that. It's not like they fall down below as well, so it's not really a pain. And I'm very much liking this build theme that we're coming up with here. So I'm going to start building the roof. It's pretty much going to be a bit of a box-shaped room. And in the middle of it, obviously, we've got this thing, and then round the back of it, we've got the stairs leading up to the top. So that's how you get up here to do the farming. And what we're going to throw in is a couple of those blocks. I was about to say you can't see them anymore, but I remember I changed my mind. I was going to cover this with quartz, and then I decided to put the glass in. So maybe we'll see some of that texture again. In fact, I've got it right here. I'm actually thinking it might be really cool to put it behind glass again. So we could do that right now. If we just rip out that bit and put the block back here, we're going to need lighting around here as well. In fact, perfect opportunity to do so. Let's grab a sea lantern and put it on the corner so it comes through the glass, because we're going to put glass in front of here and snow above it, just so that stuff is set back a little bit. It's a little bit paler thanks to the glass, and you know, it's not as dominant in the... Oh, that looks really nice, doesn't it? Yeah, this is the way the room's going. So the room is done. It's just a big old square box, but I love it. I love the way you can just whiz up here and do all of this. And we're still in range of the beacons as well, which is cool, so you can move around fast. I'm a little bit worried about the light levels down the bottom here, because of course it is an ocean biome, so that means that mobs can spawn. We're too used to our peaceful island, so I figured I'd put that down there. And wow, the brightness difference is quite a lot. To be fair, it's nice and moody at the moment, and it's just about right, and that makes it fairly bright, but we do need to make sure that the mobs don't spawn in here. And that's that project. I like it. Cool little room that you can come into and get your snow from, and we're done with this one for now. And now that we have a snow farm, it's time to get another mob head. So I just checked the website, xisumavoid.com. Oh, plug in the website, RUX. I can hear you writing those comments. No, I'm only messing about. There is a 2% chance of getting a mob head from this fella, and 1% extra for each level of looting. We got looting free. That's 5% chance, man. But we didn't get it that time. But with over 20 of these pumpkins, mathematically, we've got a pretty good chance of actually getting one of those heads. But you know how this game works in reality. Right, before you all go wandering off, let me slaughter you. Okay, I think we're going to get a tiny bit of a lag spike when we get one. I don't know if we actually got one already, because I was just sort of looking at them, making sure they didn't wander off. Okay, we ain't got one yet. Hey, did you see it on the ground? You saw it on the ground, didn't you? How many was that in total then? We had 22, 15. 15 of them, and we got the snowman. I've got to wear this. Yep, that's a little bit derpy right there. So that's a bumping into a wall face right there. Bumping into a wall and being happy about it. Excellent. This is obviously for this project, and we're going to go put it in our newest snow globe, but I'll save that for another day, actually. Oh yeah, it's on my head. Thinking, where was it? Where has it gone? Welcome everyone to the next part of the episode. We're in the gaming district, and I'm talking like this now. Is that okay? I don't know what I'm talking. I should. Okay, we're stopping. We're stopping talking like that. Land on the glass. Yes. Hi. Excellent. This is the game that me and Python have been working on together. And for the last part of this episode, we are going to build my section over there. So the deal is we beat 3 of these together, and then we're going to go off and do the last 2 sections on our own. And I've got a design, a challenge, I guess you could say, that's different from what we've done so far. These ones are about having the challenge in front of you. It's kind of obvious what you need to do. You've got to jump around from side to side, work as a team. Down here, you're going to have one player activating the tripwire hook, the other one jumping along the side, and then the roles kind of reverse, because then it's the player who's not in the boat that goes on the pressure plates, and the other player gets jumped over the top of the glass wall. Now, if you haven't seen any of the stuff I've done with Python, none of that probably made any sense whatsoever, and that's fine, but what I need to do is work on my little section, don't I? And I don't know why I'm jumping around this thing. It's not very efficient, is it? My section is the last one, so we're going to skip this bit over here, and what you'll see is that we're missing out on some blocks, and I couldn't find the shulker boxes with all of the materials in, so I'm going to need to take a trip back over to Mumbo's and see how it's going over there. I also might check on his mob farm. I don't think he's been on the server since we recorded together the other day, so probably means that nothing's spawned there. But yes, we're going to head over to Mumbo's, we're going to rob him of some more prismarine bricks, and maybe we'll see a few passive animals over there as well. Alrightio then, so I've filled in all of the spaces that were missing down here, covered it with water, and it's ready to go. So these are our big corner sections. Remember, they're mirrored, so that if you go through a short one over there, you end up going through a long one over here, and that should be fair for the race. And then we've got our next challenge, which is going to revolve around picking your own path and deciding which way to go as a team. Now, there may actually be an optimal path, and I also believe you're actually in the correct position over there, aren't you? This is how the layout is going to work. There is going to be trapdoors blocking the path of the boat everywhere, and it's going to cover pretty much every spot. However, on the sides, it might just be that there's going to be less spots, so that would probably be the better route to pick. And the reason why is because this layout that we're doing is not really going to work going into the corners. So I think the next one you would have would be here, like this, and then you can see that we're going to have a gap in that spot there. Now you might say, but hang on a second, you could put one on the side of the wall. That's true, but how would you activate it? Maybe with a button above it. Actually, that's not a bad idea, is it? We might just try that. Then again, on the lane in the middle, it would activate the one on the other side. So you could argue that's part of the game, maybe. I guess that could be a thing. Yeah, so on top of here, there's going to be pressure plates. And when the player stands on it, it's going to open all of these up. However, I forgot to craft some, so let's go and do that. It's been a while since I restocked all of my ender chests, and I kind of feel like I should do that. I should go through and try and make sure everything's full, because we ain't got enough stone for all of this, and there's probably not going to be any items floating about, so we should be okay to use a wooden pressure plate over here, which can be activated by items as well. Obviously, it's not allowed for the player to go and throw items on the trapdoors, and it's also not going to be allowed for the player to right-click on the trapdoor when they get to this bit, so they're going to have to kind of make the way for their teammate. Now, already I can actually see a little bit of a problem with this. I've kind of gotten carried away with the idea that I had. So a boat needs a gap bigger than 1, meaning when I open this, it couldn't actually advance into that space. However, if I sprint over there, then the boat technically could move into that space. But then it also can't go through these gaps. Yeah, I haven't thought this through properly. I got too excited with the idea and the fact that we can lay it out to cover everything that I've overlooked how the boat works. Well, it's been an interesting morning for me. I logged on dead. We moved the server to a new location and I'm kind of worried about it. Yeah, I logged on dead and had to load it back up, and it takes a lot of time actually to sort out your inventory and make it like it was before. Python's working on something over there, little sneak peek. It looks very interesting. I think he might have outdone me on this one. But the concept that we got here is finally working. I've done this in a way so that you can bring the boat through on your own path. And the only thing that's really going to stop you from going down the middle is where the water sources are, and they'll push you in different directions. Now, because it's mirrored and because you play against the clock, it doesn't really need to be balanced in any way, because each time you play it's fair. That block might have to go, because otherwise you're going to fall into the water, and one of the rules is that you're not allowed to do that. So the boat is going to move into this space. Remember, it needs 2 blocks, and then when that's... Let's jump over there. When that one comes back down again, it will be inside of the boat, but it can still move in this direction. So you're going to just jump around like this while the boat comes through with you, right? Now sometimes you can time that jump so that the trapdoors stay open like that. If you just saw it quickly, and again, but that's actually just the server lagging, so that's not a good thing to rely on, is it, of course? And because the server's in a new location, it probably means that us UK players are going to have a little bit of this lag now, which is fair, because some of the American players have had a real rough time. So we're moving it to a new location, trying to find something that's good for everyone. And yeah, that's the whole challenge. So that's my final section of the boat game, and of course I'll be tidying this up and building the end area at some point. So me and Python can get together with some other hermits and play a game. Remember to vote in the poll and let me know what you want to see in the next episode, and leave a like on it if you enjoyed it. As always, thank you for the support, and next episode I should play the game to the left of me off there in the distance. That was made by Tango. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, looking forward to that. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of Hermitcraft. See you in the next one. So ciao for now. Bye bye.